I want to talk about this false idea of political neutrality, which Jehovah's Witness, the Watchtower organization, teaches and promotes. Are they really political neutral? What is it? What is this? What does this political neutrality mean? It means that they don't care. They have no love of righteousness. They have no hatred for wickedness. Why do I say this? Okay, imagine you're in the nation of Israel. Okay, imagine this is you have to imagine this. Imagine there's two kings trying to get your votes, or two people trying to get your votes to be king. Say there's David, King David. Remember King David in the Bible, and then there's the wicked King Manasseh. Would you say, oh, we're politically neutral, we don't care? Remember that dumb old Prince guy? He said, I don't have a dog in this fight. Because he's puppeting, he's parroting what his masters told him to say. Because we're Jehovah's Witnesses, we don't care. Or we don't have a dog in the fight. Why? They don't care? They don't live in this world? Their children don't live in this world? When I was a little kid, homosexuality wasn't even heard of, man. People were God-fearing. They kept the commandments of God. Yeah, everyone went to church. Yeah, they had false doctrines. But they were moral people. Now you have sodomites running the churches. Pedophiles in the churches. And in Jehovah's Witnesses. They're no different. They admit that. They're no different. Maybe they need to get off of their politically neutral garbage lie scam and start caring about morality and what's going on. Take a look at the nation of Israel. When King David was king, do you think he would allow sodomites in the land? Do you think he would allow images of Ashtoreth? All these false stinking gods. We're not even supposed to mention their names. And that's what King David was. He was zealous for God's name and for his righteousness. And what happened when his son Solomon got in there? Married all these foreign wives and started building altars to their disgusting gods in that short period of time. That's what's happened in this country. You say, well, this isn't a Christian country. We don't care. Yeah, well, it was a Christian country when I was young. Man. Well, we're no part of the world. Yeah, you got pedophiles. You're part of the world. This phony ass excuses you give. You plant the seeds of your own destruction with your tyranny, with your neutrality as far as wickedness and righteousness goes. You want people to walk around like dodo birds just obeying you. You got them under a spell and you know it. And you don't care because you don't care whether they live or die. Yeah, you're faithful, discreet. You're a bunch of stinking con artists. What else? What else do I got to say? Yeah, so in that short period of time, a God-fearing nation turned into a satanic, worshiping, sick society. Yeah, there was wicked men in David's time. He was surrounded by them, but they didn't have control. That meant a big difference. So when you got some wicked Hillary witch, a pedophile, and a devil worshiper, she's part of the Church of Satan. Did you know that? And then you got Donald Trump, who was a businessman, who was not a politician. And you say, well, we don't have no dog in this fight. Donald Trump ain't no saint, not no Christian, even. But they hate him because compared to that wicked Hillary, he's a saint. But he's not nowhere near a saint. But it doesn't matter. Oh, they criticize him because he's a man, and he felt, and his flesh was so weak that he gave into some whore or something like that. He's a worldly man, you know. Besides, we're all men. Even Paul said, "What I don't want to do, I do because of this flesh." Why do you want them to be perfect in comparison to witches and pedophiles? You know. So yeah, they carry the same thing in the congregation. You know, there's this mixture of good and evil in there. And you're supposed to all get along. Just be neutral. They neutralize people. That means they're dead. When the CIA says they want to neutralize somebody, that means they want to kill them. Take their spirit away. You know, and that's what the Watchtower does to people. You know, and these XJWs, I hear them I heard them on the forum when this election was going on, you know, and they all hated Donald Trump too. Oh yeah, he's a bad guy, or you know, he's what, a Hitler and a misogynist, all these weird names. I don't even know what they're talking about, because they're devil worshippers, man. Most of these XJWs are devil worshippers. I'll tell you plain. That's what they are. And I despise their image and their hatred of God. You know, so stupid. They take their freedom so they can blatantly worship the devil. That's the stupidity of these people, man. You're supposed to have a love for righteousness in your heart, not walk around like a cookie-cutter robot without a brain and without a heart. That's what I couldn't stand about that religion, man. You couldn't be yourself. They teach you, oh, you're pleasing Jehovah if you're a dead door robot. How stupid can you get? And all the abuse I took from those people, I resent it. Yeah, we cowered under wicked people. You know, just like when Israel was ruled over by the Philistines, they had to cower to these wicked people. And God was sick of it. That's why he rose up the judges. That's why Samson was rose up Samson. A person with incredible strength, who was attacked by a lion, and without any instrument whatsoever, with his bare hands, he took that lion and tore it apart. Because of his zeal for God, the strength that God gave to him. But he was weak in his flesh. He fell for them exotic Philistine women, you know. And they went down to Timnah, him and his parents. That's what he slew that lion. But, you know, he didn't learn his lesson. You know, he put forth that riddle to them. What is the meat came forth from the eater, and sweetness from the strong, you know. And those Philistines told his fiancée that, hey, if you don't tell us this riddle, man, we're going to burn your father's house, and we're going to burn you with fire and kill you. What do you think? You bring this Samson around here to take our goods? You know, because 30 changes of raiment, that was the deal. You know, so that woman cowered to her people, her people, you know. The Philistines, the evil, ungodly, wicked Philistines. So Samson broke down and told her what the riddle was, and she told him, and he went and killed, you know, 30 Philistines to get their raiment, to get their clothes, to pay his debt. He says, yeah, if you hadn't plowed with my heifer, you wouldn't have known my riddle, you know. And his anger was stirred up, man. He was angry. And he went down there and he loved them women, you know. And he saw a prostitute down there, and he decided he wanted to have sex with this lady, man. He was a man, you know, young man or whatever. Yeah, he had all that sexual desire and stuff. So when they found out Samson was in the city, they wanted to, close up the city and catch him and destroy him, and he broke the gates of the city and took it on his shoulders, went way up into the mountain, So he went back to Israel, and then the Philistines came after. Hey, give us and what did he do? Oh yeah, he got like 300 foxes and tied them 2 by 2 with a firebrand in their tails, and had them run through the cornfields and burn up all their crops, man. And then they came after Samson to Israel, and they said, give us Samson. So they tied him up and brought him down there, and the cords on him was just like burnt flax, just broke them right off, man, and slaughtered like 1,000 of them or something. And see, Samson didn't learn his lesson though, man. He still fell in love with another lady down there. But this was of God, because God wanted to teach them damn Philistines a lesson. You don't oppress my people, God's people. You don't oppress them. You're not supposed to bow down under the wicked. Never. Jesus Christ says, I give you power to tread on the scorpions and on the snakes and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Take that faith that God has given you. Take it and act. Don't shrink back. And then God will bless you. And he fell in love with Delilah. He loved her so much, man, that he finally even told the secret of his strength to this lady after she kept bothering him. And bothering him and bothering him. Why would somebody do that, How could you love a woman so much that you give your life for her? Well, I don't know if he really loved her that much or what, but that happens, man. People give up their faith because they love a flesh of a woman so much. And they imagine that if they just keep loving her so much that they're going to convert her. He didn't convert her. She turned him over to his enemies. So it's an amazing story. But anyway, they took out his eyes, and in that temple of Dagon, their pagan god, where they were going to celebrate because they finally captured Samson, and his hair began to grow back, after they shaved it off because they knew his strength was in him being a Nazarite, that vow. And God took away his strength when they cut his hair. But his hair began to grow back. You know the story. How he was in the temple of Dagon where they were making fun of him and everything, joking and making him the brunt of their jokes. And this little lad that was leading him around, he says, just let me grab onto the walls, here, the pillars of the temple here, would you please? So I can stand up or whatever, And he just prayed to God, please, Father, just let me just shake down the pillars of this temple and destroy these people in my death. That's all I want. And he did it, And he killed more in his death than he did in his whole life. So much for political neutrality, We're living in a world where your children are taught by who? Sodomites or moral people? You don't care? That's baloney, man. You're under witchcraft and delusion and deception and hypnotized. Come out of her, my people. Wake up, man. Be real. Be a man of God and be faithful. Have faith and inherit eternal life. There's only one way. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.